Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful day here for Arlec Australia Belgravia Stakes Day. Of course, Irish Day. Great to see everybody out in action and wearing plenty of green. I'm here with Chief Steward Brad Lewis, as we do at the end of every meeting, and wrap up with the Stewards report. And Brad, it was a good meeting overall. We raced on a good 4 circuit and the rail was out 3.
Good competitive day's racing, Mark. Great day really all round.
Let's kick it off with race number 1, which was the Savannah Home Loans Handicap over 1,200 metres. And Brad, tell us what you saw with Cracker Vision and River Dance.
Cracker Vision, although wide from the 600 metres, was disappointing, Mark. Vetted out okay, and we'll just get a report through the week. River Dance over race through the early and middle stages, also held up until about the 250 metre mark.
Race number 2 was the Myatts Field Vineyards Handicap over 1,800 metres. And what came out of that with Lone Sailor, because he noticeably pulled up quite badly at the tail of the field?
That's right. Ryder put forward that it was under pressure when basically taken outwards in the back straight to improve, but immediately under pressure. Vetted out okay, Mark, so there must be something wrong, I would have thought, with this horse. So we'll speak to Nick Cox in the next few days and see how Lone Sailor has pulled up. Royal Supreme held up until about the 150 metre mark and also got a steady in the straight. And Bergantina over raced and held up until the 200.
Race number 3 was the Lavazza Handicap over 2,200 metres, and Charlestown was the beaten favourite, and Justin Warwick advised that the galloper will now be having a spell.
That's right, and as we saw, the pace was very strong through the early and middle stages there, Mark. We did speak to both apprentices, Molly Clark and Randy Tan, and we did say to Molly Clark that she'd overdone it, given the pace through the early and middle stages where it was much faster than average. From our records, it showed about 20 lengths faster, Mark. So we said that she had erred in the tactics, and she should have just sat back at the hindquarter of the Vidallo Blue and let her mount relax rather than continue to put pressure on. So given her inexperience, she was taken through that, and we'll see improvement in the future. She was also fined for not riding a mount out to the end of the race. So unfortunately, some errors there from Molly Clark through the run.
It's a very fine line, as we saw at Bunbury. She rode the right race, and here just a little bit too fast. On to race number 4. It was the Rent-A-Kill Initial Handicap over 1,200 metres. Lenience, despite running second, laid in the straight.
That's right, and Delray Beach Rider put forward that it felt uncomfortable in its action during running, but vetted out, no issues at this time. And Juventus was wide from the 600, also a self-inflicted laceration to the near fall.
Race number 5 was the LWP Property Group Plate over 1,500 metres. Swedish Memory was a great win, and the post-race vet examination of Swedish Memory's return signs of mild exertion.
That's right, just slow to recover there, Mark, given the hotter conditions for the day. Chill the Chambers, it got some buffeting at the start, and also because of that tightening actually dipped and lost ground and was also wide for the majority. The filly returned showing no signs of any soreness. Sandalwood, Ryder put forward that it raced greenly, also lay inwards from the 600 metres and got some crowding at the 400, and because of it laying inwards couldn't really be tested fully, Mark, until about the 100 metre mark.
Race number 6 was the Amelia Park Handicap over 1,000 metres, and they went like lightning in this race. King River was disappointed for a run and probably should have won.
That's right, making ground, got up onto heels at about the 200 metres, was disappointed, had to be taken inward shortly after that. Audience got out of the barriers slowly and lost a link there. Agachar Cruz layout was from the 400 metres, quite disappointing. We had the horse bedded, but no issues, so we'll contact Mr Harrison in ensuing days.
Brad, have you got any aero guard here?
Yeah, it's a bit like that, Mark, isn't it?
Race number 7 is the Arlec Australia Belgravia Stakes over 1,200 metres. It was a really good 3-year-old affair, this. We saw the River take off wide when being caught 3 wide.
As you say, Mark, caught 3 wide, also had a tendency to over-race, so in those circumstances was allowed to stride forward. Saul Special also raced keenly, steadied from the heels of a runner through the back straight and then caught wide for the majority and get over it. Ryder put forward that it lay outwards throughout, also raced fiercely in the middle stages and wide from the 600.
It was an excellent race for the 3-year-olds, the Belgravia Stakes. Race number 8, though, the last of the day, was the Muscular Dystrophy WA Handicap over 1,400 metres. And Brad, again, it just wasn't William Pike's day, having to switch course on universal law.
That's right, held up until
Pete, they're followed by Lord Conrad in the straight though. In fact, the
race through the early middle stages and also wide from the 100 metres and chasing chaos. No luck for it in the straight, held up until near the 100 metres.
As we see there in the finish there, Tradesman just getting the bob in over Scales of Justice. There certainly are some good runs out of that race. Brad, anything else we can take out of the meeting?
No, that would cover it. Just some minor whip infractions there, Mark, but nothing too severe. So a good meeting all around.
The jockeys getting the best out of their horses, of course. Brad, thank you for the Stewards report. This will be available on the Chris website in about half an hour.
I would say half an hour today, Mark. We're nearly finished.
And listen in tomorrow morning on TAB Radio. We'll have another chat to Brad and highlight a few of the incidents out of today's racing. Brad, thank you for joining me after the races, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Mark.